Hello, Rich from Loner Strategy Games here. I thought I'd do this beginner's guide just to help people like me get started who have trouble getting into a new game easily. So one thing you can do when you start is do the quick start. This gives you a breakdown of a basic game, number of sectors you can play, number of opponents, difficulty is easy, gives you the victory conditions. Just click that and you can start a game right away. And of course, once the game opens up, it starts as a Terran Alliance. It gives you a little explanation of what the universe is like and their strengths and weaknesses. You start out with the basics, Discovery, the TAS Discovery, which is a long-range exploration ship, and a probe, a colonization ship, and a shipyard. So that's how you would start out with a quick start. You can do that if you're the impatient type, but you don't really get a feel for what you can do with the game, and you probably end up with the same settings going through the setup screens, but it'd be nice to walk through them. So I think I'll go through those briefly as well. So now I'm back at the starting screen. I'm going to start a new game this time. So the game starts you out as a Terran Alliance. I think that is the easiest faction to play, so I leave that set as it is. It gives you a couple of the traits, a couple of ships you start with. You can select a different civilization of this screen if you want to. The next screen, it gives you can customize your civilization if you want to. You can change abilities, traits, set the home planet. So this is the screen where you do all that, but then for the first game I would just take the defaults. Now this screen, I think this is where you do the game settings, the galaxy settings. I think the Quick Start had a whole bunch of sectors, if I remember right, or said it was gonna. For me, I would go down to 2 just to keep the complexity of the game down since it's the first game. Make it a little easier to learn. The rest of the stuff's okay, I believe, to leave as it is. The next screen, there again, I think it was starting you with 14 civilizations. I would keep it down to 5. Make a quicker game, and you can still learn the basics just the same. And I think it'd be fun. Like the Manti Cluster, I've never played against him, so I'm looking forward to doing that. Should be fun. And lo and behold, you're at the same screen you had before with a few different options in the background, like sector size and number of AI opponents. The easiest way to get started with this game, in my opinion, is just to go down here and take care of whatever this is telling you to do first. First thing this game has up is research, so I'll click that. And you'll get 4 options. This one's locked until you get a Minister of Technology. You'll get a suggestion down here. I think these are rolled in by, I don't know how fast what the time is. I'm not sure where the tiebreaker is after that. So space elevators, armed shuttles, hyperwave radio, artificial gravity. Space elevators, that might be good at the start. Armed shuttles, probably shouldn't need that for a while because we haven't even met anybody yet, so I'd probably put the military stuff off for a little bit. Hyperwave radio allows instant communication across infinite distances, enabling more direct control. Not sure which one to take here. You can go to the Tech Navigator and see what that leads to. I think for the first one, I would stick with space elevators. Click done. Next thing it's telling you is you've got an empty policy slot. We'll click that. From my way of thinking, at this screen, I would take fast exploration, just because it's good to get out and explore and grab whatever you can grab as quickly as you can, but just don't overextend yourself. So the fast exploration would be the first thing I took for a policy. Next thing it's telling me is I've got an idle core world. When you're getting ready to build on a core world, one thing to remember is your capital city. It gives a +2 adjacency bonus to whatever it is you're building next to it. So like if I build a manufacturing district here, I get a +1 bonus out of a forest. Plus I would get 2 from the capital city. So if I select that, I get a bonus of 3. If I build another manufacturing district next to that one, I'll get a bonus of 2 instead of 1. I get 1 from the forest and 1 from as the adjacency bonus. So it's kind of neat. Unfortunately, this one is next to an Artocarpus fruit, and it's good to trade with. I won't destroy that. It gives me a little something unique to trade. Another thing to keep in mind is the adjacency bonuses when you're building on your core world. So, like this little triangle set up here will give me bonuses. These are jungles, so they're for wealth. So I would build financial districts here, but initially I'm more interested in building up my manufacturing base on my home world so I can get my economy going and my military going. So I'd probably stick with building manufacturing districts here and here. And you don't have to do all these at once, but putting several in the queue will stop you from having to go on back time and time again to do them one at a time. So my advice when starting a game, get the manufacturing going first so you can build ships and all that neat stuff to protect yourself with. I'd also do some financial districts over here later. The next thing the game's telling me to do or take care of is that I've got ships idle. So I click on that and that'll give me my first ship, which is a TAS Endeavor. That is something I can colonize planets with. So I've got 2 uncolonized planets up here that spring just happen to be active. I've got Artemis, which is a class 2, and I've got Mars, which is a class 3. Mars is the better choice, which is over here. So I would just take my colony ship and right click on Mars and I will colonize that. It's nice to get some resources coming in even though it's not a good planet. It also stops civilizations like those nasty Drengen from getting a foothold in your home territory and launching a surprise attack on you. Nothing I hate worse than having an unfriendly person in my neighborhood. So I'll click here to go to my next idle ship. And that is my Thelia. I believe this is a probe. So I would just scan out and I will put that one. I personally like to hand pick my sectors at first when I'm first getting started. So I'm going to send him down here. Now scroll back in, go to the next one. That is my TAS Discovery. These guys are good for looking at ship graveyards and space junk, things like that. And you can get some pretty good stuff. So I would stick to just keeping him local or close by and just exploring those as they come up. So I would choose that. Next is telling me I've got an idle shipyard. And I would recommend building another colony ship right away because there's at least one more uncolonized planet that we can take. And I would do that to get more income coming in. I don't worry about military ships until later on in the game, until after I at least meet somebody who's unfriendly. Of course, that almost proved to be my demise in one game because I was almost overwhelmed by the Yar and the Drengen. I kept ignoring their threats. They were telling me that they thought I was weak, and sure enough, they attacked me. But anyway, for the first turn, for a beginning game, I just build another colonization ship right now and be done with it. And that really sets up the first turn in the game. There's some executive orders I could take a look at that the game doesn't tell me about. So I could draft colonists and get a free colonist ship. I think I'll do that. This will cost me, 33 in control, and I've got 100, so why not? So I'll take that. And the next turn I should have another colony ship. I've also got a telescope takeover. I'm not a big fan of that yet. I don't see exactly where it does that much for me. And I could print money, but I've got plenty of money to spend right now, so I'm okay there. The other thing I would take a look at as a beginner, or since your first game is the leaders. If you want to recruit somebody, you drag them over here, and it charges you whatever this amount is, 100, 200, 220. This is their loyalty. So I like to take the higher loyalty guys. These are their skills and talents and things like that. But you can appoint them ministers and governors and diplomats, commanders. So I like to keep them available for the ministers at first. So I assign one to the minister colonization. It improves your colony approval. And I would probably do that at the start. So this says it improves colony approval based on the social skills of the assigned minister. So I would go back here to recruitment. And let's see, social skills, not very good. -1, a 5, a 7, and a 13. Loyalty's bad. I don't know. I'd probably take him and work on his loyalty, or take her and work on her loyalty. So I'm going to take a chance and make her my Minister of Colonization, even though she doesn't seem to be very loyal. And now I've got an idle ship. What's this? Oh yeah, it was my free colony ship. So now I can take my colony ship and right-click on Artemis. And I'm close enough I can colonize that one right away. So, colonize planet, yes. And that's one thing this game is good at, giving you cut screens. So I've got my first colony already, and haven't even taken turn 1 yet. And whenever you colonize a planet, you get an event that you can determine what you want from it. So it's Artemis is Artemis. Okay, Artemis is as inhospitable as we have seen so far. But anyway, I read this through. It's deployed successfully. One corporation is very interested in Artemis and offers a generous fee if we will allow them to exclusive licensing rights. So I got 3 things I can do here. I can celebrate it, which gives me a culture point. I can make it a monument, which gives me more planetary influence and approval. Or I can allow the I can allow the corporations to license rights to the colony. And I want money right now, so I'm going to stick that in my treasury. That's what I would recommend doing it first. So that's the first turn in Gal Civ 4. So that's turn 1 of Gal Civ 4, and that ends up this part of the beginner's guide. If you like it, let me know in the comments below. If you don't like it, let me know that too, and I'll make some more if there's enough interest in it. Anyway, if you like this video, please like it down below. And if you're interested in Gal Civ 4, I've got another really great video. At least I think it's great. You'll have to judge for yourself if you go see it. And that's a review of the game. And I will put a link to that in the description below, and I'll put a link to it at the end of this video. So until next time, this is Rich from Loader Strategy Games. I'll see you later. Bye.